Good morning guys, good evening, whatever time you're watching this video, I hope you're having a great day. This video is going to be a little bit of a different one to the usual videos that you'll see on the channel, in the sense that you're not just going to sit and watch me on a sales call or going through some stuff. This video is more just me I'm just going to chat to you for a little bit. The purpose of this YouTube channel at the moment is consistency. I think that's what I'm trying to aim for, is getting a video out to you guys every single week. And the reality of it is that at the moment, my weeks generally are looking relatively similar. I kind of get the impression you watching me on 20 sales calls in a week, or sending out LinkedIn emails, like the actual act of that is not necessarily hugely entertaining for you guys week after week after week. And so I think this video, I'm kind of taking a little step back and want to share a little bit about something I've been thinking about recently, which is trying to avoid burning out. For a little bit of context, I think anyone that's watched this channel for a little while may remember me talking maybe a couple of months ago now about, like, I was trying to do this little app project. I was just effectively vibe coding and trying to learn a little bit about that, which I really enjoyed to a degree. It was quite hard, it was quite frustrating. And then you reach a point where you realise that shit is harder than you thought it was. And I feel like I'm very much reaching that point. But I did enjoy it. I think in the last couple of months, I've kind of put that on pause for a little bit, because there's so much that I'm trying to learn, I would say, at the moment. I think stepping into this more sales focused role, there's no like sales training that we've had. Like I'll chat with Jack, which in fact I think you saw on a video a couple of weeks ago maybe, but getting advice and things like that. But there's no like training that our company's put together or like anything like that to go through. And so at the moment, my primary focus is just getting good at that. Like, I want to get as good as I can get at sales, and I think that's going to be in the like short term. That's where I see myself progressing the most. What I've kind of acknowledged recently is maybe try and take things one step at a time. And what I mean by that, it's very easy to think you have to be doing everything all at once. I fall into this trap all the time, like YouTube, and then I think trying to have 2 or 3 other little side projects at the same time as your main one, which is quite time consuming, is quite a challenge. So I've kind of told myself recently, take a step back, do just what you need to do in like these side hustle things, like these little side projects. So for YouTube, that means make sure you're getting a video out every week, because that I think is what's going to force me to grow and get better at that stuff. There's an element of just focus on what you need to focus on. And for me right now, I think that main focus is my day job, and getting just as good at that as I can possibly be. Work's flying at the moment. We're in a good spot, and we kind of need to double down on that. We had a whole call on this yesterday about just running with the momentum. Like, you've got to keep momentum going. And so that's where I'm going to be focusing, I think, most of my attention in the next sort of couple of months, is just let's build that momentum with habits, because that could be huge. It could be very rewarding, and I think that is where I'll learn a lot. When I've got to that point, I think the other stuff will come a lot easier. And so yeah, I think this video really is a bit of a shorter one. There's not necessarily a really huge point to it, other than to sort of share it's okay to kind of take a step back every now and then. I think if anything, it's needed. And so the goal is to keep pushing on. For content, for example, I'm considering trying to do some shorter videos as well, maybe some actual TikToks or YouTube shorts, reels, things like that, maybe which focuses more on the sales stuff, because I think that's a lot more interesting to see like a short clip of a sales call, rather than it being always a day of a life which looks exactly the same as the last week's day in the life. And so I think that's maybe what I'm going to start trying to focus on a little bit. I may still continue to put out a long form video. It really depends on whether there's long form content to put out that week. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be posting content, whether it's the long form, day in the life-esque videos every single week, or whether it's a mixture of the two or just short form. I don't know yet, and I'm going to work that out. And so hopefully you're going to be here with me for it. And I appreciate all of you that do watch these videos. So yeah, more of an update for you guys this week rather than kind of a what I'm doing day to day. But hope it's interesting, or at least hope it gives you guys a bit of an insight into where my mindset's at the moment. But yeah, I appreciate all the support. Please do subscribe if you are interested in kind of sales, startup content, what that all looks like. And yeah, I'll be back with more content over the next week or so. Maybe experiment with some shorts, so make sure you subscribe to see them, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, appreciate it, guys, and we'll speak soon.